This is One on One. We're pleased to be joined by Dr. Lisa Blum, Executive Director of HomeSharing Inc. How you doing, Doctor?
Fine, thank you.
For those who do not know what HomeSharing Inc. is, you would say?
Our mission is to create affordable housing solutions by matching people who need to share their homes in order to remain in them with people looking for affordable housing in the community.
Who is looking? Who potentially could help them?
Well, basically we have two groups of people that we help. So the first are what we call home providers.
Providers and seekers, right?
Providers
Break
and
that down
seekers.
for us.
Okay, so providers are somebody that either own a home or rent an apartment that need either extra money or services in order to stay in that home. And seekers are people that can't afford the housing in central Jersey and need a more affordable solution.
Break down the seekers. Do they fall into, I hate to say categories, but are there certain people that are in certain kinds of situations for certain reasons that are seeking, needing?
Well, I would say both our typical provider and our typical seeker. The typical provider is an older adult on a fixed income who's faced with increasing taxes and inability to pay, or starting to have some care needs and still wants to remain in their home. The typical seeker is usually somebody that has experienced a job or relationship change and doesn't have as much income for necessities as they did in the past. So that could be somebody that's post-divorce, laid off from a job, things like
And
that.
what happens?
But
I'm sorry for interrupting. What happens? How do you match them?
how do we match
Yeah,
that?
that's people are sitting there going, sounds great. How do you match them?
And that's the important thing to remember about home sharing. It's not just taking a list of names of people who need a place and people who have a place and matching them. It's a pretty intense process with a lot of vetting along the way. So the first thing that happens is they either call us or stop into our office, which is located in Bridgewater, and get screened.
By the way, your information is up there right now, so
Perfect.
people, sorry for interrupting people. The reason we're in this business is to share important information. Go on the site, get information now. Go ahead, I'm sorry, Doctor.
Okay, so we screen them, find out what their needs are, how much they either need to have in income for their homes or what they can afford to pay, any other people in their household, see what their preferences are in terms of where they want to live, because we're in 7 counties in New Jersey.
What about if they have an animal? You got to disclose that too, right?
Yes.
Or kids, or
animals, kids, all of that. And, you know, we're one of the few agencies, actually, that houses pets along with their
That's
home
a huge
seekers.
issue.
It is a huge issue.
Right.
And so that's very important as well. Anyway, we screen them, find out what their basic needs are, send them an application. We then do a criminal background check, a Megan's Law check, and on their application, they've given us permission to check references. So we check 3 references that they've known for at least a year, no relatives from different walks of life, and then we interview them. And then we find out all of their more in-depth needs. What's their daily schedule like? Are they in the house a lot, out of the house? Personality traits, pet peeves with living with people, and we do this for the seekers and for the providers. The providers interview as a home visit, so we can check out that the house is in good condition and everything that they say is there is there. When they've been through that whole vetting process, we give the seekers and providers each other's names, 3 each. They interview each other. They decide their...
Is it face-to-face?
Sometimes, well, usually it is, because the seeker eventually has to see the house before they decide they want to move into it. But sometimes it starts on the phone or at a coffee shop. They decide they're a match. We go out and do what's called a shared living agreement.
A shared living agreement. Go ahead.
Right. So that specifies what the seeker will pay each month in order to live there. If services are to be provided in lieu of rent or in addition to a lowered rent, what services they're provided and how they're provided. There's usually a 30-day notice that each party has to give each other in order to move out, although sometimes that's a little bit longer, not usually shorter. And talk about all the things that every couple that moves in together should talk about before they move in together. Toilet seat up or down, toothpaste cap on or off, how long can the dishes sit in the sink?
These are important questions.
They're huge.
And your organization facilitates
that discussion. And then they walk away with a contract with the move-in date.
Right.
And then we follow up at 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, and periodically thereafter as they need it. And if any problems arise, we mediate those problems.
You get back involved?
We stay involved.
So let me ask you, if I were to say, what's the longest match?
14 years.
No way.
Absolutely.
Wait, hold on. What am I looking at right now?
Our match, our 14-year match, and they are still together.
Okay, this is Jeanette and
Olinda. Yep.
14-year match.
Yep.
That's incredible.
Yes, it is. And they become like family. They're like
They are
sisters.
family sisters. Mm-hmm. Your organization helped make that happen.
Yes, we did.
What's that feel like?
It feels wonderful. And, you know, the important thing to remember, it's not just the people that I said. I said with the economic downturn, we now have families who are on unemployment and still have a mortgage to pay and are looking to get into this temporarily till they can get back on their feet and get a job. So not everybody comes in looking for family. Some people say, I need 1 year, and that's their goal when they come to home sharing. So everybody has different goals.
Doctor, are there more people looking than there are those who are providers?
Absolutely. We have about 2/3 seekers to 1/3 providers. And that number, the ratio is starting to get a little bit worse, more and more seekers to less providers, because housing is becoming less and less affordable here. So we get 3,900 calls a year.
Right.
And, you know, we provided 76,000 nights of shelter in the last year. So it's very cost effective. We're a small agency. We have 3 social workers for the 7 counties we work in.
What a totally different, innovative, powerful way, another way to deal with homelessness.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not, you know, costing the taxpayer money to build buildings or anything like that. The only limit is to how many providers
Where's your funding
we can
come
find. All over the place. About 1/3 of our funding is from foundations and corporations. Another 1/3 is from government and fundraisers, and the final 1/3 is from individual donors. And if anyone wants to donate, they can visit our website. There's a Donate Now button.
Yeah, Partners for Health funds your initiative. They also fund some of the work we do. And important work, powerful work.
Absolutely.
Keep doing what you're doing and keep us up to date, okay?
Thank you.
We thank you for coming and sharing. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, NJM, Virtua, Seton Hall University, Qualcare Inc., New Jersey Sharing Network, and by Partners for Health Foundation. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.